are you in the world? So view options at the top of your screen. It could be in other places. If you're using an iPad, it may look like a little squiggly pen. Go ahead and annotate the slide for us, letting us know where you are. Very good.
We got some people in the left coast. Awesome.
Yay, look at that.
All over.
Super good. Come on. There we go. Amazing. Wonderful. Yay. Okay, there will be lots of drawing on our slides, so we're really glad that you're getting used to it and to the different tools. Okay, wonderful.
You guys are old hands at Zoom.
Yeah,
though.
I think you've probably figured this out already, but anyway. Okay, I am going to save this slide because it looks beautiful.
I've got it.
Oh, you've got it? Okay. And then we're going to clear all of the drawings. So I'll ask you to please hold off on annotation. It's a bit clunky because of so many people here. But if we're all able to kind of like follow the step-by-step instructions, then everything should work out quite well. So when we ask you to please stop, or when we ask you to wait or then go, that kind of thing, if you wouldn't mind just kind of following along, that would be super, super helpful. Okay, wonderful. So you probably noted that many of you were piled up in this region. So let's kind of zoom in so we can spread it out a little bit. Where are you if you are on this map?
BC. While
you're doing that, what I got from the first one is that we have some people who are in very different time zones. I hope that none of you are joining us in the middle of the night, but I bet you some of you are quite late in the evening. If it is the middle of the night, pop it in the chat, let us know what time it is. And thank you for staying up or getting up really early. Amazing. Okay.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. Oh.
Has the afternoon gone well? That's my question for you in the future.
Yeah. Tell us what we're going to encounter.
Ooh, 11:45 p.m.
Wow.
11:44 p.m.
So late. Okay, we're going to clear and we're going to zoom in one more time. Somebody's in Mississauga. Thank you for popping the text. There we go. Okay, and moving to the next one. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let us know where you are if you are in this region. Some of you from way up north. Amazing.
Awesome.
Super good. I saw some folks in Florida.
Yep.
I think there were some other ones in other U.S.
Down
states.
the seaboard.
Wonderful. Super good.
There's some discussion in the chat about how to annotate. If you are having problems, drop in what you're using. It should just be the nav bar that was hiding. If you're full screen, it should be hiding up here.
Yep.
That as you move your cursor up there into that red box, green box, it'll drop down and you'll see a little cartoon of a pen. And you touch that and then it'll say, give me these options.
Wonderful. Okay. And then I still see lots and lots. I'm going to guess that a lot of you are in Guelph, but maybe not all of you. I'm going to clear, so please hold on 1 second.
There's a lag.
Is this our last one? Yes, this is our last one. Okay, so go ahead and see if you can zoom in even more. There we go. Lots in Guelph. That's good, but not all of you are in Guelph. And many of you are outside of the GTA as well, which is fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, cool. See if you can find Melinda. She came in and give her co-hosting abilities. Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. So, not only then from this map from the first one, we understand that we are like spread out in terms of time zones. From this map as well as from the other ones, but more precisely from this one, I think we also need to appreciate that some of us are spread out with respect to access to reliable internet. And I think that's really important to acknowledge. There are going to be times where there are disruptions to your internet. And what I want to tell you is that we've thought a lot about that in building this course in terms of the policies and things like that. And if something happens, there's a disruption, let us know, especially if you anticipate it being sort of a more permanent disruption, and we'll work with you to be able to provide you access to this course, okay? Yay, wonderful. There's a little Among Us guy here, and I have to say that this is like my new favorite game. I know it's not new, but it's like new to me.
Have you heard about the internet?
And basically it's become like my new thing to play with my lab group. We just kind of log in the evenings and play Among Us. That's like how we do research these days, because life is not easy right now. Okay, so I'll ask you to hold off on annotating, please.
Yowza.
I know, it's so beautiful. It's like a rainbow. Okay, and I'm going to clear all the drawings. There we go. Okay, perfect. Oh, here, we'll just clear them again. It's fine. There's a lag. It takes a little while. Okay, so a very serious question. We were playing around with putting dots on maps. Now what I'd like you to do is to take a look at this biodiversity heat map. And along the bottom, thank you, Maya's already started. Wonderful. Leah, Roberta, good. Give me a little bit of a click as to where you fall into on the color palette.
Alyssa, where are you?
Yeah. I think you're exactly where Dr. Smith wants to be.
Yeah. Where are all of these people in the red zone?
In the red zone.
That diverse area.
It's funny, yeah, you're a total red zone person, and I'm a like absolute blue zone person.
Yeah, your kind of zone is where it peters out.
Yeah.
You can't see it because it's like, nothing to talk
hey,
about
no,
here.
There's stuff in the Arctic. Okay, delightful. So I think we've got all the boxes covered, but certainly there's like a light blue, light green kind of a bias going on here. So basically, this map is our starting point to all sorts of conversations, right? About why the biodiversity of life is distributed around the world like it is, whether more biodiversity is necessarily a good thing, and what contributes to having these differences in concentrations of biodiversity around the world. That's pretty much the course. Okay, so I'm gonna clear now, and here we go. So the big questions are, what is biodiversity? How does it happen? How can we study it? So what tools exist for us to be able to answer questions about biodiversity? And then, of course, why does it matter, right? And we'll be doing this pretty much throughout the entire course, thinking about biodiversity from different perspectives. And so what we'll do for today is just kind of walk you through this course and what the different elements are. Ready?
I've been up late at night.
Yeah. Super good. But first, here we are. And one thing I did notice is that Dr. Ward Campbell is in the audience somewhere, but Dr. Ward Campbell, I can't find you.
I see them, but I cannot make them.
We cannot make you co-host.
Because we already have another co-host going on. But we can ask them to unmute.
Can we ask them to unmute? Okay, perfect.
I'm here.
Oh,
hey!
hello! Wonderful. Okay, so good. So, okay. Yeah, you've met both of us. We're your instructors, and we will see you in class during these times. And what else do we do? We're kind of the useless parts of this course. No, you will join us in these synchronous sessions twice a week. And then we'll also be there for the student hours, which are basically we're going to keep the Zoom room open for an extra hour after each class to answer your questions if you have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, then we'll just tell you about stuff and go for a bit of a exploration on the interwebs to find weird and unusual things about biology and science.
Yeah. And we might deal with our preschoolers.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll meet our family. Dr. Ward Campbell, who are you?
Can you hear me? Oh, you can.
Yes.
Good. I am your course coordinator. So any Courselink issues with respect to the content on Courselink, don't email me if Courselink's gone down. You need to email the Courselink people who are wonderful. I've had lots of dealings with them. So I run your seminars as well. Any questions that you have with your synchronous or asynchronous seminars, any questions that you have with the quizzes, if you have any accommodation requests, email them to me at the course email there, right under my name. That's the best way to reach me. If you email my personal email, it tends to get lost in with a whole bunch of other things. So please try and keep course-related emails to the course email address.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming. I know you're super busy. There were seminars this morning, were there not?
There were seminars this morning. Yep. We had the first 6 seminars this morning.
Good. That's fantastic.
Course email just dropped into the chat.
Wonderful. Good. Course email.
And it's all over Courselink. It's on the welcome page. It's everywhere.
Super good. Okay. Thank you so much. I will clear the screen, although you guys are really good at this. Like, look at these folks.
Even when I had hair, it wasn't as flowery as that. It was resplendent, though. And by the physiology unit, you may see it.
You may see it.
Yep.
I never knew Dr. Smith with hair.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to clear, though, okay?
There's a song in that.
Okay, and
the leg.
Please do feel drawing in the margins is definitely cool. But when we get into like some of the learning stuff, if you could not, just because it'll interfere with some people, whatever. But draw in the margins, that's what they're there for. Perfect. Well done. Cool. Okay, so this course is divided up into 3 topics that all fall under the umbrella of biology, and they all can be used to explore biodiversity in delightfully complementary ways. And so what we do is we don't divide up these topics into different courses. We're going to bring them all together for you and show you how they all contribute to biodiversity. So we're going to start with evolution. And then we're going to go into ecology, and then we're going to go into physiology. And instead of just kind of closing the door on one, we're going to instead bring those previous topics with us because they're important. And you'll see how that all will kind of fit together.
Yeah, it doesn't make, when designing this course, it really, biodiversity is an amazing thing because you can study it. You need to study it and consider it at so many different levels. And so thinking about the control, the abiotic influence on the diversity, on the distribution of diversity means you have to think about ecology and you have to think about physiology. And there's so many times that, and you need to think about phylogeny at all of these different levels. And so we wanted to bring this together so that you've got a class, kind of a unique class in Canada, that gets you to think about all 3 of them at the même temps, at the same time.
Yay. Okay. So this course is highly structured. There's a lot, and within about a week, you'll get the routine and everything. The one thing that I need to be very, very clear about right now is that because we're starting the course today and because the semester starts today, the quiz that is usually due on Mondays is not due until, I think, Thursday, Wednesday. Dr. Ward Campbell, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. But basically what we want you to do is to do all of the pre-lecture readings before coming on Wednesday to class, if you wouldn't mind. We understand that there are all sorts of disruptions and it'll take a little while to get used to the schedule. But for this week, you're going to have the pre-readings for week 1 And then the pre-readings for week 2 are due next Monday. So it's just a little kind of crunch time. It's not anything that's super heavy though. The reading shouldn't take you more than an hour. The quiz should take you about 10 minutes, just so that you can plan a little bit, okay? Yes, so these are done beforehand. It's all laid out in Courselink if you haven't yet been there. You'll see week by week a repeat of all of the tabs that you need, all organized in there. We have, so those are what we call the asynchronous classes, or the pre-readings, right? The pre-lecture readings. We have synchronous classes. You're here. Yay. And those will happen throughout the semester. They will always be on Zoom. We are not pivoting or changing platforms or anything. We like consistency, things that you can rely on. So the course is designed to be pandemic proof for now. We have synchronous seminars and asynchronous seminars. We have 3 synchronous ones throughout the semester. That means that we want you to come to those at the scheduled time, and we have group work and things all woven in, so it's really important that you make those available. This week is a synchronous seminar, and then next week is not. It's asynchronous. When it's asynchronous, do it at your own time before the end of the week, and all of the deadlines and due dates are available for you. It's totally cool if you were like, whoa, that's a lot, and I didn't get anything that Jacob's just said, because we have it in the course schedule. So this is this document here, week by week, everything that we want you to complete throughout the course. So you can use that as your checklist going through. All of the deadlines, the due dates, and things like this are all there for you. So that document is hopefully very, very helpful to keep on track. And the point of all of this is no final exam. So when the course is over, the course is over. And by sort of having these very short assessments, things every week, it keeps you engaged, it keeps you up to date, no cramming, nothing like that. We have a big assignment that's coming up, but we start basically on the assignment like now, teaching you the tools and the skills that you need in order to complete it. Okay, so everything is kind of chunked by these very sort of small steps week by week that we have outlined in the course schedule.
All right, can we before we keep going, or as we keep going, on the annotations, there's some, it's negative feedback about it.
Negative feedback in the chat?
Yeah,
it's
because
distracting?
It's very distracting.
Yeah, okay.
I'm experiencing it.
Oh.
I'm the negative feedback.
Okay, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so requests from some of your colleagues in the chat to kind of cool down on the annotation. Thank you. But there will be lots of opportunities. Don't worry.
Yep, we will use this a lot because it's a way that we have of chatting with you,
getting feedback from you, and all of that stuff. So cool. Okay. Here's another opportunity. Tell us, what's your major, or at least what you're thinking about. Go ahead and give us a stamp. Try not to cover the words, though, so that other people can see them. So the purple one is biology, go like around. There we go. Molecular biology has figured it out. Okay, and you can add text in the gray one as well. Yeah. That's fine. Cool.
What do we got? Chem, nanoscience.
What is a major? Wonderful.
Biochem.
Come and talk to me. I will probably try to convert you to the dark side into the biodiversity major, though. But talk to me. Super. Psychology, math, neuro, biochem, studio, art. What are you doing in this course? And welcome.
Well done, you. Yeah.
Pharma, chemistry, history. Amazing. Really good. This is so good. Okay, so lots of interests out there, which is amazing. Some people are playing tic-tac-toe, even better. Great. Okay. There we go. And a pretty good distribution of all of the other things, so that's fantastic. There's a lot of you in this course, and this to us is pretty exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, it gives us lots of opportunities to kind of leverage the fact that there are so many different students and so many different interests. So hopefully we'll be able to enjoy this time together.
Marine, English, nanoscience,
Yeah.
fine art,
So good.
studio art. I love it.
Okay, cool. So
All right, holster your annotations.
hold on. Yeah, because you will also get to meet tons and tons of these people. Now, obviously,
This is kind of a conceptual drawing.
Yeah.
We're not in this place. These people have all been gainfully employed in other places. They've all graduated.
Yeah.
But this is what a teaching assistant might look like.
that's right. Yeah. So we, in the before times, used to get together for a group photo. And now we don't. But you'll get to meet your teaching assistant this week in the synchronous seminars. And they will be moving along with you through the seminar series and all of the assignments and all of that throughout the semester. If you have a question for your TA, please just send it to the course email address. Dr. Ward Campbell can answer your question or can communicate with the TA if there's something specific that you'd like to know or put you into contact in some way. But please don't worry about, reaching out specifically to your TA. Dr. Ward Campbell is there to support you in all of your communication needs for this course. And we take to the Twitters quite a lot.
Yep, this is, of course, we're too old we're not an Insta generation. So
No.
we're in the old decrepit Twitter box. Well, we're not on Facebook. I mean, who are we kidding? But
Or MySpace? Was that a thing? No?
I'm older than you. What is that?
Look at me. So we're on Twitter like a lot, and not always about biology, but certainly advocating for higher education. And you are more than welcome to follow us. You don't have to. If we ever tweet anything about 1070, then we'll use the hashtag BIOL1070, but we won't tweet anything like a must know. We won't we won't do that to you. But sometimes we like to take photos and tag biology 1070 if you want to follow along. The department has a YouTube channel as well called WeBIB. That's just ways of connecting on social media with us or with the course. Okay. So, the overarching themes of this course: evolution, ecology, physiology, but we like to think about it in terms of biological levels of organization and timescales. We also talk a lot about geographical scales, right?
Yep.
So we like to think about scales of things, small things, big things, and how the biological principles change as we change scale.
Yep. And whether those scales, as you change, whether they're nested or whether they're a replacement set, whether they're, as you move up and down and from big to large, are all of the things in the previous found in the next, or are they an additional set?
That's right. And there's lots to discover about big biological patterns by going through this exercise. So biological levels of organization and timescales. That being said, then, what comes to mind when we say biological level of organization? So just kind of do a brain dump. I'm going to get this started. If you go to www.menti.com and put in the code 64720237, let us know what words come to mind when we say biological levels of organization.
It's in the chat.
Cool.
The annotations are, people are really not liking them. And yes, the lectures are recorded.
Yeah, the
We'll talk
lectures
about
are being
that in a
recorded.
second. Oh, I saw the word phylum.
Oh.
You phylum, you brought them. Phylum, I don't even know them.
This is really great. So 155 of you have clicked in so far. Thank you so much. We'll just give it another few seconds.
That's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
A word cloud with nearly 1,000 people is a fun thing.
Yeah.
Menti's like, what's going on in our servers?
So good. Okay, super good. Here we go. I'll drag this onto the shared screen so that you should be able to see it. There we go. Can you see it? Yes, very good. Okay, this is fantastic. And making word clouds is super fun. I don't know what happened to my screen, but anyway. Okay. There we go. 450 of you have clicked in so far. Brilliant. And it's just updating. But what I see a lot of course, are the big words, the ones that have been repeated, where you've said it several people have said it several
Salut,
times.
monsieur. Qu'est-ce que se passe? Viens.
We have, oui, bonhomme.
Do you know like where my white phone is?
Oh, on va le chercher, okay? This is Daniel. So you got to meet some of some of our
50%
family.
of the small human
50% of
animals.
the small human animals.
Tu dis bonjour?
Could you dire bonjour? Say hi? No? Okay.
I really want a phone right now.
Okay, je vais le chercher dans 2 minutes, okay? I see...
That black.
No, ça on
Then I'll
l'utilise.
give it back.
On l'utilise.
Bien, monsieur.
So, what I see is kingdom and species and ecosystem and worms, because like everything's a worm. Wonderful. Okay, so all of these things are definitely related to biology. They're definitely related to organization. Yeah, Katie, we speak French here at home. And some of them are more precisely related to the sort of key concept of biological levels of organization. So what we mean by biological levels of organization is this very specific nested hierarchy that kind of allow us to appreciate the way that biology is organized, right? So it kind of goes like this, kind of at the bottom. Well, I mean, you can get really, really small, but if you want to just start in something familiar, let's think about maybe an organelle, like a nucleus or mitochondria. And those are organized into cells, and then from there, cells are organized into tissues.
I'm saying hello to our children who are watching this.
Oh, good. So they're in class
Oh
too?
yeah, they're in class.
Oh, no.
Salut, Jackie Daniel. Ça va?
Okay, so then tissues, and then tissues are organized into organs, and organs into organ systems, and so on, all the way up until you get to biomes, right?
Not
Okay.
the willy bud.
Thank you, merci.
And that's what we mean by biological levels of organization.
Okay, bye-bye.
So let's put that aside for a second and go back to this course and what we mean by learning in this course. So I'm sure many of you have heard that this course is a little bit different in the way that we ask students to try to think. We don't do the whole sort of memorize and regurgitate kind of approach. And so we do something a little bit different, right? We want you to kind of be in a space of uncertainty and to become comfortable in that space, knowing that, you know, the answer might not only be one thing that might not come to you, but to be curious about it as well and try to understand different trends and patterns, okay? So we emulate that, we model that in this course. And we also reduce the stakes associated with that because it can be a little bit scary. So you're not going to have an exam that's worth 40% of your grade, right? Everything is kind of built in these small little chunks to allow you to maybe make some mistakes, but also not to punish you for them. So that's kind of how we go about building the course and how we've designed it to be able to support your learning. Okay, so I'm going to clear. There. So it's basically recreating the scientific process, right? You know, what we don't want to do is kind of remind you of things that you already know. That makes learning really comfortable. And in fact, you're not really learning, you're remembering. So being in a state of learning is being uncomfortable, right? Not kind of knowing all of the right answers. And that's completely fine. We want you to become comfortable being uncomfortable and to recognize when you're learning, and also to kind of help you maybe not be so harsh on yourself when you're in that space, when you don't know. Right?
Because it's kind of the natural state of doing science. Yeah. So in each of these cases, that's an uncomfortable polar bear, and I'm kneeling beside an uncomfortable viper. And this is where we learn.
That's
and
right.
you just learn to be comfortable with the process.
Yeah, there's the polar bear right there.
And the viper you can't see. That's kind of part of the problem.
That's the problem. So this course builds on different sort of levels of learning, or different sort of ways of engaging with material. We do, you know, allow you to remember some things because it feels good. So there will be a little bit of that, especially in some of the readings and some of the quizzes that will get you to focus on before coming to class. We'll also be making sure that you understand certain things. And again, a lot of that happens in the readings and the quizzes, kind of low level, super chill. Here, just read some things and come to class already knowing some things about biology and what we're going to be talking about in class. There's no overlap, though. We're not going to be like retesting stuff. Especially at these kind of lower levels of learning, this remembering and understanding. So most of that gets covered in the quizzes that we have weekly. And then we'll get you to apply stuff and analyze, and we do quite a bit of that in class and on our topic tests. They're not really exams, they're topic tests. That's where we start to kind of grapple with things, and it's so much better when we grapple with those things together, and so that's why it's designed to happen in class. And then obviously to demonstrate your learning of those things, we have the topic tests for that, for those reasons. And then evaluating and creating. Creating really, you know, takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of learning. And so we're going to be addressing that in what we call our EPP, or the Effects of Pesticides project, as well as our group interdisciplinary assignment. And again, these things are best done collaboratively and together. The EPP, you know, the end result is an individual assignment, but certainly you'll be working in groups throughout the whole thing in your seminars. And then the interdisciplinary assignment is a group project that you can, you know, get to know people and work together on. Okay. So,
one of these things is not like the other.
Here's a kind of introduction to the types of questions that we like to ask. I'm just going to launch the poll for you. Here's a bit of we'll have lots of these, like, probably every class will have at least one of these, if not more. Here's one. Please don't annotate the slide. Just go ahead and fill out the poll. Yeah, take your time. We'll see how it goes.
Tapping my hands because I'm told I'm not supposed to talk while you're doing the polls.
They're working. They're working.
But if I'm talking, they'll hear the computer.
They're working.
It's motivational. For
so
one person out of 888.
90% of you have filled out the survey or filled out the poll, so that's fantastic. And what I'll do now is I'll just close it in 10 seconds. So if you want to get your guess in there, your choice in, Go ahead and do that, and in 5 seconds, I will shut it down. Good, okay. So end poll, and I'll share the results with you. Well done. So the correct answer is B. No worries if you didn't get it right. It's fine, because all we've done is we've planted a flag. So either a flag that says, woohoo, I understand, or, ooh, I better go back and see that again. Either is just as effective for learning. If you guess the answer, but you're not sure as to why it's the right answer, I do strongly suggest that you draw these out so that you'll be able to see the difference or to appreciate the difference. And understand what we mean by these different hierarchical structures, because we have a homework question. So that's one thing that we like to do, is we like to give you specific homework to do. Most courses at the university are designed with about 10 hours of work per week. But we only have like 3 hours of class. And so students often find it difficult to figure out what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Don't worry, we got you on this one. We're going to tell you what you should be doing, and we'll be pretty clear about it. So we like to assign homework, a specific question that is meant to take about an hour of work in order to answer it. So it's not like you should be able to answer this right here and now. And certainly understanding why it's the right answer is really important. So we want you to kind of dive into these things. So one way of getting started is to look at the actual biological levels of organization, to look at the definitions of each of the levels, to appreciate why it's a nested hierarchy, what a nested hierarchy is compared to a linear hierarchy, and then to be curious about which one of these actually breaks that definition. So that's kind of what we mean by the homework, to kind of dive into these worlds a little bit, and kind of, see how we might be able to apply these different principles to, in this case, to biology. Okay. For those of you who are like super neat and tidy at note-taking and like to have all of the notes and everything that we say, this course is going to drive you bananas. And that's okay. We're going to show you how to get messy. We're also going to show you how you can organize it so that it works with your brain and the way that you need to organize information to be able to get through this course. For the first little while, though, just a little warning, it's going to be probably a little bit confusing as to what to write down. Yeah. Because we're not so much interested in getting you to copy down things.
Not at all. I mean, the whole idea with taking notes is that we're trying to get you to synthesize. And this is a thing not just in this course, although perhaps this is a course that really emphasizes it for you for the first time in your university career. But the skill is going to be one that you apply throughout your university career and likely throughout your career in whatever you end up going into, is that capacity to synthesize and not just record like a list of things exactly that were said. That's not the point at all.
Not at all. And so don't panic.
Bring your towel.
It's going to be okay. We promise. If we can do JK and grade 1 and second year university and first in this house, you will be okay.
Yep. I'm teaching the invertebrate course on the other side of that wall right over there.
Yeah, it's a madhouse, but it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. We've got you throughout this semester. If you need anything, there are multiple ways of getting in touch, of finding the information that you need. We'll be posting these slides after class and a link to the recording as soon as it's available after class. So just go onto the week and the lecture tab, and all of the information will be available for you there. Oui, bonhomme. Okay, donne-moi 30 secondes.
Yep.
Okay.
30 secondes.
So go to Courselink, go and check out our course. Don't forget to do that first unit reading and the quiz before coming to class next time would be super good, because then you'll get caught up. And then don't forget to do the second one for week 2 as well, which will be due on Monday. And Monday will become that regular time that a quiz is due. We want to get you into a regular kind of schedule so that you can plan your life and figure it out. Okay?
Just like pretend on
Great.
the sock.
So that's it from us for today. We're finishing right on time. We're going to give the kids a movie or something. If you have a movie suggestion, let us know. And we'll just turn off our video.
We're going to show them Reservoir Dogs, I think.
We'll turn off our video for just a minute, and we'll be back to answer any questions for anyone that wants to stick around.
Be good to yourself.
Take
Do
care.
something nice this afternoon. Oh yeah, Encanto was a good suggestion.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.